Welcome back, YouTubers and Madden fans. This is Madden Money Shot, sniffing out the Madden cheese as always. Got some plays for you today out of my Eagles playbook. The Eagles playbook is the next defensive book that I'm going to do, and the reason I'm going to do this playbook is because I've pretty much been using it all year. So, to me, it's one of the better defensive playbooks. It's a really underrated book. There's not a lot of playbooks that have the 4-3 wide 9, which I use quite a bit. I put out some plays from this. More particularly, the cover 2 invert and the outside safety blitz are probably two of my more used plays. It has a 4-4, which is unique. I already have out the Patriots ebook, which is mostly, I like that book mostly because it has a lot of nickel packages, but it has a 4-3 and a 3-4, which is why I like that book. But like I said, I've been using this book for a long time now, so I figure I might as well put it out to the public. Because like I said, it's probably my favorite book right now as far as defensive plays. It also has, the dollar. I'm not sure if the Patriots had the dollar or not. I don't really remember. But this is a really great book, and like I said, it's the one I've been using. I'm going to put it out. But today's video, I'm going to put out a couple of plays that's in every book out of the big nickel over G. This formation was added to every defensive playbook in the game, as far as I know. So whatever your favorite playbook is, you will have these two plays. The first one kind of mirrors. I put out all three of these plays. These three defensive plays you see right here, I put out in a scheme a little while ago. I'm going to go over one of them because the setup is going to mirror the pinch blitz, which is a play that I like to mix in on my opponent because they'll get to the point where I'll run these plays enough that they'll think they're seeing the same play, and then I'll go ahead and I'll throw this in. It's a really quick, fast blitz. It's a really good run defensive blitz. It's something that if I wanted to set up my audibles, say I would probably have the pinch blitz in there, and then whatever play I'm about to show you. Like I said, typically all three of these plays are pretty much the same, but I would probably run the weak safety blitz 3 and 2 the most. So I can go ahead and I can put these all in my audibles by hitting LT or left trigger, whatever whatever system you're on. And now I have all these blitzes in my setup. So let's go ahead and let's pick the new one. Actually, let's pick the original one. Let's go ahead and let's pick the weak safety blitz 3. It doesn't matter because they're all my audibles anyway. On the offensive side, we're going to pick random gun. So you can see how that safety drops down. Like I said, this one here and probably the two are going to be ones that I use quite a bit. So my opponent will get to the point where they're probably expecting that, and then I'll go ahead and I'll hit them with this one right here, which is obviously a much faster version. One of the downsides of this though is the man versions. The mans get really crossed up. Even if I man a line, they have a tendency to look really bad when it comes to like a 5-wide set. So I won't recommend using this against a 5-wide set. If you do, you have to go around and base align them all, and you really won't have enough time to do that. So like I said, I would say realistically, if it's a 5-wide set, just don't use this play. Any other 4-wide set, 3-wide set, whatever, it'll work fine. But the idea on this blitz was all I ever really did was pinch the D line, which is L1 down on the right stick, and then this guy here didn't even move. This guy, let's fix that. I don't know why Graham here didn't move, but he typically would be around there. So I'm going to pinch the D line. Then I'm going to hit LB again and go down the right stick so they all slant inside. Now this guy here, he walked himself down to a pretty good spot. I don't have to do anything. But if he doesn't, sometimes I walk him outside a little bit better, maybe just down closer to the line, a little bit further outside. That's ideal space. And then the last thing I'm going to do, I don't know why this dude's all over here. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just come over here and hover this outside, just be on this dude's hip. And that's going to get me some pressure off of this side. Like I said, I already put out these plays, but I'm going to run this one time just like this, just to show you how the pressure that this play gets. This is more the base defense there. That was actually just really quick outside throw. Let's take a look at the pressure though. That's the point. I mean, he only got a couple of yards, but let's take a look at how quickly this blitz got in. Typically, this guy will come in free, which is exactly the point of this play. And you can see it's pretty consistent. Like I said, this is one of my more, these 4 guys just kind of swallow up the 5 blockers. Look at this blocking cluster. That's what slanting inside does. It just forces these type of blocking clusters that are just so stupid. And then you can see how this outside cornerback just gets in free. So it's the same thing if it's the cover 2. I'm not going to go over too much of this anymore. But like I said, I made videos about this. But if you don't want to watch that, I'll just go over the cover 2 setup real quick. It's the exact same setup. All I'm doing is slanting inside, pinching inside, yada yada yada. Then one of these guys I'll put into a mid-third, having your typical cover 2 look. Because if you leave that cover 2 middle open, you can be in trouble. And then you got the same thing. You're gonna get the same pressure. You're gonna get the same as you do the cover 3. So those setups are really simple. Now you'll notice The guy blitzing off the corner is Corey Graham. He's not even fast, and you saw how quickly he got in on that pressure. So if you have a speed guy there, if I had Avonte Maddox who's really fast, wherever he is, doing that job, he'd be in there in a split second. So let's go back out into the accidentally hit choose new player. So those are the setups for those plays real quick, real obvious how the pinch blitz is going to play off of that. But like I said, I didn't actually put my fastest guy here. So we're going to take Corey Graham out. We're going to put in Ronald Darby. I mean, he's a speedster. He got to work out. So I typically put, because I play Mutt, for whatever reason, they usually have like a really bad cornerback here. So you typically have to adjust and put somebody with speed there. So I'll typically put a fast cornerback there, and they'll get the job done. So let's go ahead and let's pick the pinch blitz one more time. I better check to see who's coming off the other side. So Malcolm Jenkins, that's not bad. I'll take that. So let's go ahead and let's pick that pinch blitz. Finish this vid. I'm going to go with random gun one more time. So, I mean, for one thing, this is a great run defense. Yeah, I mean, because I got guys coming off of both sides. So, you know, I typically I will take whoever's covering the running back, just like the mid blitz. I run the mid blitz a lot. Take whoever is covering the running back, hover him either here in the center or hover him either here outside. It doesn't really matter. But just, you know, I don't want to be too out of position. I mean, like in the last blitz, I was hovering all the way on this dude's hip. Can't do that now. You know, I mean, that's a bad idea now, because if I have to cover that running back, say he goes out in a curl flat or something, I gotta just, you know, sprint across the screen. So I would say anywhere between, you know, the middle three gaps would work just fine. In this scenario, I typically go with the middle because I want to create those clusters of blockers in the center one more time. So here the running back blocks, but you can see it doesn't really matter. We have the instant pressure that we're looking for. Let's go ahead and let's watch the replay. We had the running back blocking. I saw that. He picked up the one outside guy. And 73, I mean, he's too slow to try to get over there. You can see he's thinking about it. You can see he's trying, you know what I'm saying? But he's never going to get over there in time to take out this safety. I think it's Malcolm Jenkins, yeah. So he's never going to get over there. Malcolm just comes in free. So the other blitz, the first blitz I showed you, that can easily be slid to, or you can, you know, the original blitz, if you're good, you can ID the mic and you can pick up that other blitz. But this blitz here, you can see you can't, because it's 6 guys coming in against 6 blockers, but you can't pick this one up. It's not like the one before. It's a little bit riskier because it's a man, but it's just, it doesn't get picked up the same way. Or it's not possibly picked up the same way as the 5-man zone. So that's the idea of this blitz. If you really want to guarantee it, you really want to ratchet it up a notch, you got to pick something like this. I also like man coverages, if you want to know the truth about it. I just feel like man coverages, you know, there aren't holes in man coverage other than the routes being the man coverage. Like, there's holes in every zone coverage, but typically man will at least stick with plays where a lot of times zone coverages can get terribly beaten. So here, I have to align this. Let's go ahead and let's start this over. I have to align this. You know, I have to bring this linebacker out. This is not a great setup where the linebacker is covering the cornerback, okay? And I'd rather not give it away. I'd rather not take him all the way out there. I'd rather just have him somewhere around here so it almost looks like he's not covering that guy. But you know, this is a high probability of getting beaten right here if Cole Beasley runs an outside route or something like that. So there are issues when it comes to like 4 wide sets. I said 5 wide sets earlier, but 4 wide sets can have the same issue because these guys are the guys that should be covering them. They're coming in on blitzes, and there's nothing I can really do about that. So like I said, a lot of times I'm just basing this off of how fast it gets there. You know what I'm saying? So luckily, I mean, the computer's going to be a little bit smarter than a user opponent. Where they're going to pick up on those issues quicker, but you know, I'm just going to run it. I'm going to go see what happens here. So like I said, we got a run play here, so it bailed me out anyway. Got a couple yards, which isn't typical. I didn't even do the full setup. There's nowhere for your opponent to run. Like I said, I got a man aligned quite a bit. You know what I'm saying? You're seeing the stupidity of Madden's crossmans that come out for no reason. You know what I'm saying? They're like, you'll come out to some ridiculous crossmans. So the man aligned, you just hit triangle and then right on the left stick. Oh, I bid on that. I bid on that play action, but it doesn't matter because, like I said, you got that heat coming in. So let's go and let's watch the replay one more time, even though we kind of know what happened. Hopefully you saw that live and direct. But like I said, I shot this gap. It's just like the man or the mid blitz. A lot of times you can shoot these gaps on runs because all the blockers are taken up by the blitzing players. And me and my boy here both fell for the running back. So to keep your blitzers from doing that, you just have to guess pass, which I didn't do, I guess, because typically when you guess pass, they'll go straight for the quarterback. And luckily, I have my dude here trailing. You know what I'm saying? My speeds, they're trailing. And like I said, if you look at the linebackers, I accidentally hit the wrong button there. Let's go back. If you look at the linebacker in coverage, since it's such a fast blitz, he doesn't necessarily have to do a great job, but you can see he just gets he gets pooped on. You know what I'm saying? So you know I guess even cornerbacks will lose that type of battle, to be honest with you. But that's, you know, like I said, you're taking a little bit of a risk, but it's usually a risk reward. You know, this defense is great against the run as well. It's a really good blitz against the pass. So that's why I like using this play, because I don't get guys that the second they see this, they start hitting slants, because slants will beat this the same way it'll beat them in blitz. But I just don't see that. People just don't start doing that the same way. So they look at it. It almost looks like the cover 3. You know what I mean? Which is the way I would run the cover 3 and the cover 2 way more. Up to this point, as you see, we get another sack. So, like I said, so fast. I mean, what is that, like a half a second? I mean, it's such a fast blitz. You know what I mean? It's like there's nothing really that. I mean, how many people are blocking here? It almost looks like there's only 4 wides going out. So that means there's 6 blocking. You know what I mean? So and the running back's doing nothing, by the way. That's the thing about this. You got a guy on both sides. The running back's gonna try to take one of them away, but he's never gonna take both. Like, one of them is always gonna come in free for the most part. You know what I mean? But like I said, by no means am I saying run this play all the time. You're going to have to use discretion. So that's it. That's the vid. If you guys want to see more blitzes like this, do me a favor, hit the like button, and I'll do that. Other than that, thanks for watching Madden Money Shot out. Need more help or just want to show your support? Then head over to my Patreon and join my team, where you can get exclusive content like ebooks and bonus plays, as well as early access to my vids and more. Link in the description below.